Flosstube. It is Kate from Kate's Crafting Corner. It is September 2nd, which is my dad and youngest sister's birthday. So happy birthday, Alex. Happy birthday, Dad. I don't think you watch these, but if you do, happy birthday. They do share a birthday. Alex was born on my dad's 40th birthday, and so we always remember his age by just adding 40 to hers. But anyways, so we were doing a family Zoom birthday celebration games until 4 in the morning California time, and my sleep schedule is completely messed up right now, you guys. I'm not even sure how it got so messed up, but it's basically 12 hours reversed to what it should be. So I've been waking up at like 7 or 8 at night and then staying up late because I keep trying to reset my sleep schedule and it's just not working. But one of these days it will happen. I've been trying to push myself to stay up, and then I tell my husband to wake me up from a nap in like 2 to 3 hours, but then he doesn't wake me up and he tells me that I needed my sleep, but it's like I'm never gonna reset my sleep schedule if this keeps happening. So the one benefit is I am sleeping through the hottest parts of the day. I don't handle heat well at all, and my husband is constantly cold. So I can turn the fan all the way up in our bedroom because he's working, and so I'm the only one in there, and he gets congested from the fan, so it's kind of working, but it's not really working. So I do need to adjust my sleep schedule to get back to normal, but until then, it is at present 5:40 in the morning, and I am filming this not because I woke up, but because I'm still up. And you know, he tries to get me to go to bed with him, but it's like, if I've only been up for 4 to 5 hours, I'm not tired at all yet. So he went to bed hours and hours ago. But, so, yeah, here I am doing a Flosstube. And I will try again to reset my sleep schedule by staying up as long as I can, and then trying to take a minimal nap, and then going to bed at a reasonable hour. So, I mean, even earlier than we normally would, just to try to reset it. So I am really hoping that that works, because, you know, it's just, I'm literally 12 hours reversed from where I should be, you know? It should be 5:40 in the evening. I should be getting dinner ready in real time. And instead, I'm like, I've got all this energy. And so, yeah. So, here's to hoping that I will get to fix this and we'll get back to normal. But anyways, I am here to do a wrap-up video of my September wrap-up. And then, mainly, it's going to be planning for September. And I, again, have some really lofty goals for September, and I'm probably not going to achieve most of them, but I have prioritized them, and some of them must be accomplished. So I will talk about that more in the planning segment, about why those have to be accomplished, but for now, let's review what I've done. And to be honest, I feel like I've mainly gotten progress on yarn type of projects. I do have 2 new starts to show, and so I will do the cross stitch first, and then anyone who's not here for yarn stuff or planning can just leave, and that's totally fine. My sister-in-law told me she only watches the cross stitch, which is fine, because I have something in the yarn section that I don't want her to see. So, Michelle, it's fine. Please don't watch past the cross stitch section. So, first of all, oh, I don't have the light on behind me because when I was editing the video, it really seemed to blow out the colors, And since it's pitch black outside, I've just got this overhead light, but that also means the light isn't coming in and blowing things out at a weird angle because my window's over there. So we'll see how this one looks. But I made some really good progress on Serengeti. I finished the first part and I started the, let me put this one. And I started the second part. So this is completely beaded and specialty stitches and everything in here. And then I started to do the part 2 is just 4 of these. And so I can reach 3 of them in my frame. So I am going to do those 3 at the same time and then come back and do the 4th one all on its own. So I do have a goal in September for this project, and that is to finish all non-black cross stitch in these parts. There is a lot of black because it's like the sky and then like the tree and the elephants are all in black. So my goal is to finish the non-black because I would really like to finish part 2 this year. So I have to make reasonable goals, otherwise I just overwhelm myself. So that is a goal for that. But I am really happy with that progress. My mom might be coming up to visit again, and if so, she's always a motivator to work on it. However, she's aware of some of the other goals that have to be met this month, so we'll see what I get accomplished. Next, I worked a tiny bit on So Many Books, So Little Time, Max Color from Heaven and Earth Designs. I did 150, maybe 200 stitches on this, and I have been doing this cross-country-ish. And I decided to change it to diagonal by 10 by 10 block with some parking, because this is 28 count fabric, and as I mentioned before, it's hard for me to see 28 count fabric. So that's what it looks like at present. I have completed this block, so now I'm just going to go in and then do those ones and then again do the diagonal. So not much of a start. My goal, I think, for next month on this is like 250 stitches. Honestly, the number of stitches I do is usually based off of various Facebook challenges that I participate in, my own group, but then also I like to participate in the Stitch 30 or Daily 30, Cheryl McKinney's group, and so I pick challenges actually usually more based off that group than my own group, because it's like I'm making the challenge myself, and for some reason that doesn't motivate me as much as someone else's challenges, even though I don't think about my projects at all when making my own group challenges. Sometimes that real shoots me in the foot, but I don't know. Right now I'm just feeling more the vibe of Cheryl's group in terms of challenges. I have a ton of challenges to make up on my own group, like makeup as in I didn't complete them, so now I need to do them. So I do need to focus on that a bit, but for right now, I usually base my whip choices on Cheryl's group. So, and then the third and final cross stitch project I worked on is the U.S. Presidents from Clouds Factory, and I started this in the last election cycle, so 4 years ago, and my plan was to stitch on one a month and listen to an audiobook about that president. I didn't make it very far with that goal. So then my whip goal for this is just to stitch 10 presidents this year. But so this month I actually made some pretty good progress. I wanted to complete 2 whole presidents, but instead what I did was all of the black, including the back stitching, on 3. So, I mean, I think that's pretty equitable, honestly. But so my goal for the next month, September, is to finish these 3 presidents and then to finish the border up through them. And stretch goal is to finish the border up through the next row of presidents. So, I think part of my holdup on this one is that I was only working on it while listening to autobiographies. And the George Washington autobiography is seriously like 40 hours long, and I really enjoy it. I really honestly do. But I finished George Washington so fast, the character himself, and I'm like not even halfway through that. So then it felt weird and I didn't know what to do. Should I be stitching John Adams while listening to Washington? And I have finally just decided I'm going to stitch on them, and then I'll listen to the audiobooks at their own pace. And so my goal is to stitch this and also listen to an audiobook of each president, but it doesn't need to be in time with me stitching them. So I'm hoping that will relieve that kind of mental block in my own head. And it is really fascinating learning about our history, if you're an American, and the Revolutionary War and Washington's whole history, and like I've just learned a lot. And so I'm really enjoying this self-imposed challenge, but I just want to make more progress on this piece. So that is all my cross stitch progress and projects. So if that's all you came here for, thank you so much, and I will see you hopefully in a week. I would like to, again, do these weekly, because otherwise it just turns into such a monster. But my mom might be coming back up at some point, so it all kind of depends on her coming back up. So, yeah. Now we will move on to yarn-y type projects, and then we will do planning. Hang on, I've got to move this further out the way. Okay, so I don't know if I worked on this anymore since my last update, but in case I did, these are my dad's socks. I need to finish them this month. My mom goes back to Singapore in the beginning of October, and I need to finish these as they're kind of a birthday present, I guess, for my dad. I didn't really tell him that, but I guess they're kind of a birthday present. And then I need to do my mom's pair, so I've got to do a lot of knitting on these. So that is a major priority this month. The next thing I have to show you is I have been working on the Afghan I am making for my husband's oldest granddaughter. I don't know if it's going to be finished in time for Christmas, but I'm really going to work hard to do that. So let's see. When I started working on these, so since then I have done this much, which doesn't seem a lot, but it's that much on every side. And I have gone through a color change. So I started out with let me see. So I started out with 2 strands of red and 2 strands of orange, and I am now down to 1 strand of red and 3 of orange. And she told me her favorite color is a rainbow, so this is a rainbow cake that I'm working on. I really need to make some progress on this. I want to make it through at least the second repeat of the repeating pattern this month, because I need to know if I need to order another cake from Little Favorites by Rhea, and I need to order that in time for it to get here from Germany if that needs to happen. So This is another big priority. I am hoping to get at least one round done a day, and that should get me through the 2 repeats. So I've tried to break this month down into what needs to be accomplished every day. And while I probably won't accomplish that every day, it will give me an idea of like, okay, so that's basically 7 rounds in a week. So if I sit down in a session or whatever and manage to make it through 5, I know that I've completed most of that week's goal, if that makes sense. But I also need to see things in a daily type of goal. Oops. I'll actually just put that down. Next, I have a start, and this is actually kind of a restart. And I don't know if you guys remember that I have attempted this candle flame pattern multiple times in the past. It's a knitted scarf, and I have been trying to do this. I've probably started it and ripped it out at least 5 times now in the past, and I've been trying to do this for my husband. I restarted it, and I have made it through 1.5 repeats. 1.5 repeats of the pattern, and I've learned so much more knitting since I last tried this, and so it's going pretty good. I've had to fix a couple mistakes, but in the past I've always had to rip completely out when I make a mistake, and I haven't had to do that this time. So I'm really proud of my progress as a knitter, and I'm really enjoying working on this. This is the color, so kind of maroon, or yeah, kind of maroon. So I'm really happy with this. My husband's birthday is in November 19th, and so my goal is actually to do this for his birthday, not Christmas. And so I need to do about 6 rows a day, I believe, to reach that. It's easier for me to do 12-row increments though, because the pattern repeat is actually 24 rows, but you can stop at the 12 or 24 point. So, yeah, I need to do about 2 repeats a week is kind of my goal to get this done in time for his birthday. So, I'm really, really happy with this. I've been really enjoying it. I am doing that system I came up with. I mean, other people probably do this, maybe, but it's really working well for me. If you have a knitting pattern that has a lot of rows in the repeat and you're having trouble keeping track, write 1 row per an index card, and when you finish the row, just flip it into the back. I keep it all the time in the Ziploc baggie in case, you know, the dogs get in my lap or something. I always know where I was at. And it has been helping so much. So I am so excited with my progress on this and seeing it come together. And I've showed my husband and he likes it. He likes the color. He told me though if I made something in yellow polka dot, he would even like that. So, you know, it's hard to gauge his real reaction when he just tells you he'd like anything you make him. So, which is really sweet. And I'm glad that he enjoys that I make hand knitted gifts. So for Christmas I want to make him a pair of socks, so I need to finish this by his birthday so I can do the socks by Christmas. So I have, yes, one more new start, and this is the one that Michelle, my sister-in-law, cannot see because it's for her, well, her family. They are major fans of the San Francisco Giants baseball, and so I decided to make them like kind of a throw afghan in those colors, which, if you know anything about baseball or the San Francisco Giants, they're Halloween colors, black and orange. So my project totally looks like Halloween, but whatever. I found this pattern and I will insert a picture. It's actually a Christmas pattern, and in the spirals of like a peppermint that you would chew on or whatever. And I want to do that for myself for our own Christmas decorations. Obviously not this year, but for a future year. But I decided to take that pattern and do it in black and orange instead of white and red, and make that as for the giants. And so I started this like, I don't know, 2 or 3 days ago, and I can easily whip up these. So I need to have 42 of these, and this is the design. Then there are also little squares that go, because when you stick these together, it forms a square that needs to be filled. These are octagons. So I will need to do 30 squares or something like that. Oh, isn't this so cool? That's what it looks like in the front, and this is the back. Isn't that so cool? I love this. I'm seriously loving this pattern so much. I haven't memorized. It looks like a lot more work than it is. There's just 11 rounds, and I am loving this pattern so much. I am not looking forward to having to sew all of the blocks together, but I'm really hoping Michelle and her family love this as much as I am loving it. I mean, these are not the colors I would do for myself, but I really, really hope that she loves it. So, yes, I am trying to do 1 to 2 of these a day because, guys, I have big plans for December. I am hoping to finish as many Christmas presents as possible before December, because I'm intending on doing Vlogmas, like Vlogmas to the fullest of its potential, hopefully, and I say this basically every year, but I really want to do it. I have been binge watching the Crazy Sock Ladies Vlogmas videos, and like I watched 3 years of Vlogmas just like last week or 2. And I want to do Vlogmas so bad. And so I want to finish as many Christmas projects before them, because I would prefer to do selfish kind of knitting and crochet and cross stitch instead of trying to bust out as many projects as I can. So, I mean, I'm sure there's going to be that, because I am the queen of procrastination. It's not even funny. But I don't know what this pandemic's going to look like come December. I don't know if I'm going to be working, but if I'm not working, then I really want to maximize that by doing a full Vlogmas. And, yeah, I just really want to. And my mom got me a 12-day Jane Austen yarn advent. And then I also ordered a Tudor yarn advent, which is 24 days. And then, okay, let me show you guys this. I found on Etsy this advent sock. This is what it looks like. And each day is its own color. So I actually have to wind this into 2 separate balls, and this is its contrasting heels, toes, and cuffs. But so each day is its own color, and so basically you knit that day in that color every day, and I want to do that, and I want to share that on Vlogmas, and I want to actually knit my advents, or I possibly might do a little crochet. I haven't decided yet. But I want to do that and, you know, work on Christmas cross-stitch projects and all these things. And I really want to do, like, share that with you guys and share, you know, Christmas decorations and stuff like that, which we kind of lacked on a little bit last year. And so I'm really hoping that if I'm not working, I'm going to be able to put my more time and energy into that and making a beautiful Christmassy house. And yeah, so I want to finish as many Christmas presents before then so I can just have an awesome Vlogmas and share that. Yes. And I'm so excited. Like, seriously, I wish it was December already because, one, it wouldn't be this hot, but two, I would get to do this while I'm so enthusiastic about it, and while I also know I'm not working right now. So yeah, that is just that. And so I just thought I'd put that out there into the channel. Like, if you guys wanted me to do Vlogmas, or, you know, if you don't want me to, please just don't tell me, because I'm so happy right now. Anyways, so enough about that. This is not what I'm meant to be talking about right now. But that is all that I have worked on since that video that I filmed with my mom. So now we need to talk about some plans. So the projects I worked on, I already told you the plans for that, but I have some other, on my blog, I already went through and I made goals. So I'm not going to talk about all of those goals because why? Oh, because it's too long, and also I'm clearly not going to hit most of them. But anything that's already been called on WIPGO, I made a small goal for this next month, and I don't think I'll be able to achieve most of them, but I just put those out there because I like to be able to look at a list and, like, if I have a prompt, work from that list, and it makes me feel like I have a little bit more direction. So I'm only going to share with you guys, well, I'm going to share with you guys the 2 new WIPGO drawings, so both on my cross stitch and then my non-cross stitch boards, and then I'm also going to share with you a couple of projects that aren't on those WIPGOs but have to get done. One of them is a must achieve priority for this month, as in I need to start it like right now. I'll probably start it after I finish this video, but I wanted to show it on a blank slate, so yeah. And then the final thing I'm going to show you guys is the new seasonal projects, because I am considering September, October, November to be the fall months. And then what I've decided for those seasonal goals is that then I'm actually going to make December to be just a Christmas category, because I have some like seasonal Christmas projects like Celtic Noel and Yuletide Garden from Carolyn Manning, and those deserve to be in the seasonal category, but not necessarily winter, because the winter's category gets ridiculously long. So I'm just having December as its own category, and then winter will be on the short end of that stick and just get January and February, and then spring, blah 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 blah. Who knows if I'll even be sticking to this plan come then, but for right now, that is my plan. So I am going to show the fall seasonal goals and projects. So first, let's talk about my 2 must complete non-WIPGO. Well, I guess I have 3 kind of. You're a WIPGO. So, Clouds Factory has, okay, no, backstory with this. I mentioned today is my sister and my dad's birthday. My sister loves Scooby-Doo. We all love Scooby-Doo in my family, but apparently she's currently obsessed. And so on her, my mom sent us like a wish list, and it had some jewelry, which is more of my other 2 sisters' alleys of things they're more likely to give her. It was mainly like earrings and some necklaces, and I'm kind of like a basic girl, as in like I have like 2 or 3 pairs of earrings and 1 or 2 pairs of necklaces. Like, I don't switch it up really. I get overwhelmed by options, and so I don't actually like having a large jewelry stash. I like having a couple pieces that I can decide from. So I left that up more to my other 2 sisters who are into fashion and clothes and all that type of stuff. So the other thing on her list was anything Scooby-Doo. Like, not even linked to anything, just anything Scooby-Doo. So I looked on Amazon, and I wasn't too impressed. They seemed a little too juvenile, like a kid's backpack or like a lunchbox. And my sister's 19, and so they just weren't feeling right to me. Which, she probably would have been okay with them, but whatever. So Cloud's Factory has a Scooby-Doo cross stitch. So I decided to make that for her. I've pulled this kind of ice blue, muted blue out of my stash. So I'm going to start that ASAP. I don't have a printed out copy of the pattern, but I should have inserted a picture of what it will look like. And so there's just 5 characters, the mystery van, and a tiny little saying, and I think that I can get that accomplished in a week. Honestly, probably less if I focused. But so I think that's really, really achievable. And then I was going through my, oh yeah, and she would prefer that to be finished as a pillow. So I will finish that as a pillow for her, as opposed to being framed. Then I was going through my stash, and I found I have some Scooby-Doo fabric, which I'm so excited about. So I found this purple, which matches so well with Daphne. And so I'm going to make her a bag out of this fabric. I'm going to follow a different tutorial for a kind of knitting bag. But she can put whatever she wants in it, whether she wants to put makeup or clothes for a sleepover or whatever. She can put whatever she wants in it. But, so I'm going to make her a Scooby-Doo bag, and I'm so excited. So those are my 2 must-complete priority projects for this month. They will be the ones that I focus on first because they have to be accomplished. So I can't do the bag yet because I only have 2 zippers. One is navy blue, and the other is like tan. And they don't go with this fabric at all. Like, okay, you would think tan because Scooby, but no, it's more like, maybe it's more cream, and it just wouldn't go with this fabric. So I need to go get another zipper. Ooh, wouldn't it be cool if I could find a purple zipper? That would be cool. But anyway, so I need to get another zipper, but then I will make this, and I will be following a different tutorial, because as much as I like my bag, Jenny Dunn did not include a lot of specific details, like fabric size. She was just kind of like, do whatever feels right. And then the other thing is that it has seams on the inside, and I'm thinking about trying this out in my Etsy shop, these kind of bags. But having seams showing is not the most professional, right? And so, they're not in any of the ones I've bought. So, I'm going to try a different tutorial that doesn't have the seams like that. Jenny's bags were so easy. And, part of that is because there wasn't seams. But I want to step it up a little bit. And so, I am going to try a different tutorial on my sister's. And, yeah, I'm so excited about that. So, this doesn't have to be completely accomplished this month. It has to be done by the end of October, though. And that is my secret, not Secret Santa, my ornament exchange. And I finally decided for sure on what project I'm going to do. And that is this flower quilt square. I don't think the person I got watches my channel, so I won't say the reason why I ended up picking this right now, but I will later. But I did pick it for a specific reason based off of stalking their Facebook page. But anyways, so I had this bit of fabric, and I'm going to use this. I counted to make sure it will fit, and then I'm going to sew it into a kind of like like a puffy square, and put some ribbon for it. I think I have some red ribbon or something like that for a hanger or whatever it's called. I did not have any of the colors it called for, and they all call for fancy. It calls for all fancy floss. So with the help of a couple of friends, I went through my stash and we picked out 2 different reds, because it actually does call for 2 different reds, and then 2 different greens. I still need a light yellow for the center of the flowers, but I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. But so I want to at least have started this, because the deadline to mail it out is the end of October, right? I think it has to be mailed out by November 1st. So I need to make this kind of a priority. But the socks for my parents and my sister's presents comes in first. So now let's talk about WIPGO. So the first thing that was drawn on my my stitching WIPGO is Advent Animals by Brooks Books, and I had the goal of finishing 2 Advent Animals. I already finished one for Christmas in July, and that's Katie Kitty. That's what she looks like. So, Peter Polar Bear. That's all I've done so far on Peter Polar Bear. But my goal for Peter Polar Bear, and this is what he will look like in the end. These are free patterns you can get off Brooke Nolan's Brooks Books website. And so my goal for Peter Polar Bear this month, I said on my blog, was to finish the animal himself. However, he's really large, so I'm not going to include the cup or the hat, and none of the back stitching, but I would like to finish him. And you know, if I could finish the whole thing, that would be definitely a bonus, but I have other priorities first. So I am pretty excited about that. I think that that's definitely an achievable goal, and I think I can definitely finish this square on WIPGO before the end of the year. The other WIP I had drawn for WIPGO was my Paris Mandala Chatelaine, which is for my sister Kirsten. She's always loved Paris. I was going to say that she got engaged at the Eiffel Hour, but that was my other sister, Jo. But yeah, Kirsten loves Paris, so I started this one for her. And this is where I am at on it. So I feel like I need to sneeze. I said on my blog that my goal is to finish all the cross stitching. That might have been too lofty. Maybe I should have just said to finish these 2 gardens. My goal for WIPGO is to finish the whole of part 1, which means I still need to do specialty stitches, back stitching, and beading. And apparently these ones too. So maybe I really do need to finish these 2 gardens. I don't know if I'm going to be able to achieve this goal this year. I think that might be too much. But at least finish this garden. I started it. If I could do this one this month, that would be good, but it is what it is. I love this one. I don't work on it enough. And so yeah, I need to work on that. Next, excuse me, is my Whip Go board for non-stitching projects. And the first one drawn for that is my Beautiful Shells Afghan. It's like a baby Afghan. And this is what it looks like right now. I made my goal to finish it. This is how much yarn I have left. So one color change that still has the pink, and then the rest of it is just this color. I don't actually have a recipient in mind for this. Kind of like if any of us girls have a baby girl in our family, or anything like that, then I would probably gift it for that, or if I was ever lucky enough myself. I would say Gracie, but they're monsters and they do not deserve a crocheted blanket. But so this will just go into storage. So while I did make my goal to finish this, it's just because I'm so close. I don't have a recipient, so it's not really a rush. And yeah. My second call for Whip Go is the Liliana Afghan. This is where I'm at on this. And this is the cake. So it's got some lovely blue coming up. I love this cake. But I made the Whip Go goal to complete this, and clearly that's not going to happen. So, so I made my goal for this month on the blog to finish part 3, and I think that there's about nine rounds left. They're pretty detailed and complicated because it's going to be squared up at this point coming up. So, sorry, I'm not even tired. I don't know why I'm yawning. So I think that that's achievable, but this project is not a priority right now. So what happens, happens. I would like to achieve that, but who knows at this point. So now the final thing to go over, and then I will end this, is my autumn fall projects. So my goal for each of these is 1,000 stitches during the fall months. So not 1,000 every month, just 1,000 over the season. The first one is my 5 Seasons quilts, and this is the autumn one. I have not started this one yet. The only one in that series that I have actually started is the spring one. So I will show you what that looks like. They're so cute. They're just skinny projects but long. And the detail in it is beautiful. Look at those little backstitched birds. I really like this one and I don't work on it enough. I think for the autumn one, I intend on starting it on this lamb's wool Joblin. It's 28 count. I did not have enough white to do all 5 on white. And so rather than just doing one in the darker color, I decided to do 2 of them. So I'll be doing winter and autumn in that darker color and the rest on white. So I'm really excited to start this, as I love these. Next up, we have Celtic Autumn. I started this so long ago, apparently January 2nd, 2015. according to my little floss card. This is what she looks like originally. I am doing a color conversion of this into more autumny colors. So here is where I am at right now. And I just love this color conversion. So, I mean, 1,000 stitches into that dress will look really nice, and I'm so excited. Okay, the next one we have is the Autumn Queen from Mirabilia. I started this during Stitch Mania. This is what she will look like. And here is what I have done on her. I have not worked on her since Mania. So I was working on the hair. Held back, yeah, that's closer to the real color of the fabric. Held all the way back here. But here she is up close, and you can see the hair. So I'm excited for an excuse to work on her again. Then we have up from Country Cottage Needleworks, the Seasonal Celebrations Autumn. As a reminder, I am only doing the house and the banner. I am not doing the words. I started this for Stitch Mania as well. This is a 28 count Bittersweet Light Joblin. And so that is what it looks like. I love this. And 1,000 stitches on this should put it possibly at a finish. Real close, if not a finish. So I would love to possibly get the finish on this. Yeah, I think the house is about 500 stitches. So hopefully we will get a finish this autumn on this one. The final three that I have in this seasonal category is my 3 seasonal cottages in the Cottage of the Month series. So September, and this is where I am at. October, and this is where I am at on October. This is filled in. It just matches the fabric so closely. So I still have to finish it. Fill it in over there though. Oops. Then November. And here is where I am at on November. So I'm getting there on these. It might take another year of doing this to complete those. After I complete all of the cottages of the month, my intention is to do the quilts of the month from Paula Vaughn. I do have that book. And so, Quilts for All Seasons, maybe? No, that's the name of the other one. Anyways, I do have the book with all of the quilts. And so that is what I would like to do next. And again, work on them like 1,000 stitches either in that month or in that season. So that is all I have to share with you guys. One plan I have for next year is, and I'm telling you about this now because if you want to participate, it takes a little pre-planning, and that is Desert Vista Dyeworks is a dyer out of Arizona, and she has been running this stitch along where if you knit a pair of adult socks out of their yarn every month throughout the year, there are different levels of prizes. So if you do it for the first 6 months, you get a free skein of yarn. And then if you do it for the whole year, you get a skein of yarn that is exclusive to this challenge club or whatever. And so I decided I wanted to do that. So one of the things I really have to work on these next 4 months, September, October, November, 4 months, is being able to complete a pair of socks in a month. I have not accomplished this yet, and so I have to work on that and figuring out how much I need to do either every day or every week. And so that's part of what I'm going to be working on in these next 4 months. But then also, they can take a couple of months to get your orders to you. I ordered this May or June, and I only just got it mid-August. And so if you want to participate, you will need to place an order in the next couple of months in order to, and I would order more than one skein at a time so that you can fully participate. But anyways, so this one, so they're all self-striping yarns. This one is based off the cover of The Hobbit, and I just really like these colors. I have 7 in total, so I still need 5 more skeins. I might order a couple. There was a couple that are only available till the end of this month that were really nice, so I need to look at those again and decide, because I have enough to get me started through a good portion next year, and then hopefully I will get a job soon and have a little stash money. So this one is based off the cover of the book Night by L.A. Wiesel. That is one of my favorite books. I mean, it's total tearjerker. What he went through in the concentration camps is, I mean, what all of them went through, but that's what his book is about, was his experience in the concentration camps. And so yeah, I really wanted to get this skein based off the cover of that book. This one was limited edition for the summer sock camp that the Crazy Sock Lady did. So that's why I got this one. This one, which is so similar to the Hobbit one, my mom said they are basically the same. But this one was based off of a picture of Zurich in winter. I mean, clearly I have preferred color schemes. This one, she has a Scooby-Doo series, and I'd like to get the rest of them. But this one is based off the character of Scooby-Doo. And that is what it looks like. So I like that. This one is off the Flintstones. Based off the Flintstones. It went out of the shop in July or June, I don't remember which. And so yeah, I really like the Flintstones, so that's why I ordered this one. And then the final one is the only one I'm actually disappointed in. The pictures on the website were deeper jewel tones, and that is Witches of Eastwick. And if I can find a picture, I will post what it was supposed to look like. And it's just, this is so muted. It's not like that at all. And I've contemplated possibly contacting her about it, but I don't know. I don't like to be that person that complains, because I don't know, you take a risk when you buy things online. And so yeah, but this is Witches of Eastwick. Yeah, so I just thought I'd share that. I will try to remember to link the shop down below. I'm going to try to edit this and then upload it, and I might still be up in time to add the links. My husband will need the computer though in a little bit for his work meeting, because he still steals my computer, and so I don't know if I'll be able to catch it in time to edit it before too many people see it, because I don't know how to upload it and not have it post right away. So I need to figure that out, actually, so that I can edit the details in the description bar. But it is what it is. And yeah, that's all I really have to say. So I will talk to you guys. Oh my gosh, I just realized I have this needle minder for The Hobbit right here, which this is not the cover it's based off of. And I don't think needle minders really work on yarn, but how cool would it be if it did, and I could put the Hobbit needle minder on the Hobbit thread yarn. So yeah, yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. But I will talk to you guys hopefully in a week. And until then, happy stitching. Bye.